for me, it's to be an example of like that you can really struggle with some really hard things, but you can still do some great things in life. And so I think like I would love to be an example to other people that you can do hard things. Like even if you're someone that struggles, you don't have to be this perfect person.
Yeah.
You don't have to be qualified to do all of the things that you do, but you can, even if you're not qualified. And for me, like, you know, we talked about in the beginning when you gave the intro, but like our mission is to truly see people and care for them. And I've struggled with some really deep, dark things. And so for me, like what I need in those times when I'm struggling is someone to see me. And that rarely happens, even though I know a ton of people and I'm surrounded by community, I'm not always seen. And so that's why it's so important for me when people walk in our doors that we see them, because you never know, like that person that walks in could be struggling with something really, really dark. Like, you know, they could be contemplating suicide or walking through some really hard things. And if they walk in our doors and they're already in that place and then we don't see them, we don't smile at them, we don't make eye contact, we just act like they don't matter, that's gonna have an impact on that person, whether we like it or not. But if they can walk in our doors and they were in despair that morning and they walk in and someone sees them, makes eye contact, asks them about their day, even if it's in a general, like, you know, how's it going? Like, what are you doing today? Where are you going after this? Just in those little conversations, it is so important for them to be seen. And that's like, ultimately, I joke sometimes, but it's totally the truth. I created this business so that I could be seen in those dark times and not have the ability to go hide in my bed and not be seen. Yeah. It's built around like I can walk in there and someone's going to see me. And even if I'm, you know, that morning having a really hard time and in despair, that I can walk in and sometimes I act like everything's okay, but that someone will look at me and see me. And it's just that little bit, it's that 2-second glance or eye contact that makes that person feel like they're important. And that will sustain them for, you know, the rest of their day or a couple hours. But yeah, that's like where that stems from, is like, we can't be responsible for everybody's mental health. Like we can't carry all of those things that people are carrying, and we don't have to. Like I don't expect our team to have super deep conversations all the time. But it's about seeing that one person and really making that difference. So that's kind of a little background behind like really why we do what we do and why it's so important. And I love that. I think we should all take that, whether you're a business owner or not. If you're listening to this podcast or watching it, I think moving through your day and knowing that all it takes is a couple seconds of looking someone in the eyes. Because if they already feel unseen and you don't see them, like it's just, you've got to take those opportunities to truly see people.
That's really good. I love that.
That is good. And that's, I think a lot of people don't take that into business, because once you're in business, it's about the numbers and, you know, and all that. But I think those details and stuff are really important. And
what's the point if you're
it's all important, you know, as a big picture. You do, you know, there is a reality. You do have to, like, the finances are important. It is important to make money as a business. Like that's, I mean, ultimately, if you don't make money, you can't sustain your business. So that side of it is very important. But I think the most important is if you have something behind why you're doing what you're doing. If I didn't have like a motivation or a why behind what I was doing, I would have quit a long time ago. Like, you know, if it's not important to you, like it's one of those things, like I couldn't ignore the fact that I am supposed to share my story, that I am supposed to see people. Like that is just ingrained into my soul since I was little. Like it's just what I've always felt. And you can't ignore that. Like you know, have to walk forward in that, whether it's, you know, training classes at the gym or it's, you know, owning a coffee shop. Like if you feel that you need to make a difference in a specific way, like you can't ignore that. You have to do it, despite the fact that like I struggle with a lot of things and it's hard, you know, some days to do what I do, but you have to. It's to walk outside of that. Like I can't imagine, that would be so much more anxiety to know that I'm not living out my purpose and not walking in, what I've been called to do and the people that I've been called to reach.